Well, look at this video. Oh my goodness. She launched Buti Yoga. I know you've heard of it. It's a mix of traditional yoga and tribal dance that sculpted bodies and made women feel beautiful. She came up with it while teaching traditional yoga, and now it's taught in about 15 countries. It's kind of a success, but her passion and business now goes well beyond fitness. In the next hour, we'll have somebody demonstrating the Buti Yoga for us. Right now, we want to talk with entrepreneur Bizzie Gold, who is joining us this morning to talk about the break method. It is a program aimed to provide you the tools to transform your life. And this is really, I mean, your passions have evolved so much. And as I understand it, originally you were working in public relations and you just put yourself on a total different journey. It must be inspiring to share that story.
It is a privilege to be able to share that story. I think so many people get stuck in corporate jobs and think this is kind of it. This is the way my life is going to end up. And sometimes it takes a life-altering event. In my case, it was getting diagnosed with lupus to really start to reassess what I was meant to do on the earth.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for all of my schooling, it was not public relations.
Yeah.
But I think at that point, I really started to turn that journey inward, assess what was going on in my life, how much stress could I handle, how was that stress affecting, you know, my nutrition, how I was sleeping, and then in turn, how I was living my life. So.
Well, and a lot of people, especially who I find that practice yoga consistently or are drawn to teaching it, really do find that they're trying to sort of solve some sort of challenges that they have in their own lives, and they realize how effective it can be to feel at least like you have some control over your own destiny.
Absolutely, and it's funny that you say that because part of our tagline in Break Method is direct your destiny.
Okay.
It's in essence this idea that, you know, I think a lot of people live their day-to-day lives thinking that, you know, they don't really have any control, or they're controlled by their fear or their anxiety or their depression or, you know, addictions, when really that's not the case. Those are patterned behaviors that get linked into your body, typically between the ages of 8 and 15 on a very chemical level with neurotransmitters. And essentially what we do in Break Method is we help people figure out where those patterns were created and how they have replayed in different aspects of their lives. For instance, somebody that grew up with an abusive father may have found a way, without being aware of it, to create the same type of relationship chemically with somebody else in their life that may have taken the place of the father.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a husband, sometimes it's a boyfriend, sometimes it's a boss. But our bodies find a way to tell our brains how to create these new scenarios in our lives with which to play out our same childhood emotions until we become aware of them, break free of them, and then we start to create the life that we actually were meant to have.
So the people who are coming to the program, they're already self-aware and they're on a journey of change, and they're looking to sort of reinforce that or be guided through.
Absolutely. I would say that there needs to be a certain level of self-awareness to be able to raise your hand and say, wow, there's something about my life that's not going right. I want to change, right? So you can't be so stuck in your own ways that you can't see that there's a problem. So I do think that there's varying degrees of people that come to the program that do raise their hand and say, yes, I have some issues that I want to work through. You have certain people that show up and they see the method, they see what it's capable of doing, and they want to heal themselves, but they also want to then heal others, and they then become break practitioners. And then you have people that are just really stuck in that repetitive cycle and they can't see a way out. Maybe they've spent thousands of dollars on therapy, or they've signed up for any other program. And I would say where break really differentiates, the method of self-reporting is different. When you go and sit down with your therapist, they have to rely on the information you're giving them. And unfortunately, if you're chemically patterned a certain way, you may be in turn giving them false information based on your own perception of how things are happening around you. What we do in Break Method is we use a tool called directed storytelling that actually sifts through the information so that we know this is coming from implicit memory, this is coming from explicit memory. And when I ask you a question about your childhood, instead of allowing you to tell me a story, which is typically what you would do in therapy, we have a way of extracting information based on fact, adjective. Imagine an ad lib, or the Mad Libs that you would have done when you were young. Did you ever do Mad Libs?
Yeah.
So I find
fill in your words.
Exactly. I found a way to extract the information that I need without you knowing what questions are coming, so that you can't create a narrative. You can't create a story. You can't lie to me.
And rely on the same things you've been saying in the past. Well, if you want to find out more about this, you can go to Bizzie's website. It's BizzieGold.com. You can register now because you've got a program starting soon.
Our registration opens in 21 days, but there is a tab at the top for a free consult. So if you watch the intro webinar, the program speaks to you, and you want to set up a discovery session, everyone gets a 20-minute discovery session to see if it's a good fit.
Okay, and you're still practicing Buti Yoga.
Always.
Always.
Every day.
As you can tell, I think you saw in those images. And we'll demonstrate that in the next hour with a studio here in town. Bizzie, thank you so much. Really nice to meet you.